In a small town where a modest family lived, there lived a young man named Sammy. Sammy was a high school student with a great passion for life, but he had a major problem: his time management. He would spend long hours playing video games and checking social media, which caused him to fall behind in his studies. One day, while Sammy was sitting in his room, his grandfather, who knew the value of time well, entered. His grandfather looked at him tenderly and said, "My son, do you know that time is the most precious thing we have? It is a priceless treasure." Sammy was surprised by his grandfather's words and replied, "But time flies, and I can't do much in one day." His grandfather smiled and took Sammy for a walk to the town park. While walking, his grandfather pointed to a huge tree and said, "Look at this tree. How long did it take to grow?" Sammy thought for a moment and then said, "Of course, many years." His grandmother replied, "True, but she invested every minute in growing. Every day she received sunlight and nourished herself with water. That's what you should do too. Invest your time wisely." When they returned home, Sammy decided to start changing his time management habits. He created a schedule for himself, allocating time for studying, time for rest, and time for hobbies. As the days passed, he began to feel much better. His grades improved, and he began to feel good about himself. But life wasn't easy. Sammy faced many challenges, including difficult exams and peer pressure. One day he was feeling exhausted, so he decided to take a long break to watch TV. But his grandfather walked in again and asked, "Is this the way to achieve your goals?" Sammy reflected on his grandfather's words and realized that he was wasting time that could be invested in achieving his dreams. He decided to get back on track and make the most of every moment to achieve his goals. Over time, Sammy became a role model at school. His colleagues began to notice his change and wanted to know the secret to his success. Sammy shared his story with them, telling them about the importance of time management and how every minute can make a huge difference. Sammy graduated from high school with honors and achieved his dream of attending college. His grandfather was proud of him and told him, "You invested your time wisely, and that is the secret to your success." A few years later in college, Sammy decided to start a blog to teach others how to manage their time. He wanted to share his experience with the world to show how time can be a true treasure. His blog became popular, attracting many followers who were looking for ways to improve their lives. Whenever he talked about his story, he always mentioned his grandfather, who he credited with changing his path. One day, Sammy decided to write a special article about his grandfather to show how much he had influenced his life. He published the article titled, "The Value of Time, a Priceless Treasure." By the end of the story, Sammy realized that time is not just hours and minutes, but an entire life. Every moment can be an opportunity to fulfill your dreams and ambitions. He learned to invest his time wisely and set an example for everyone around him. Always remember that time is your greatest treasure, and every minute used wisely can make a difference in your life.